Welcome. This practice builds on a practice that we did when we were focusing on peripheral awareness and localized or focused awareness using a simple pranayama practice. You can see that practice here as a foundation for this practice. In this one, we're going to be using some standing poses. This is also a beginner's brain-based yoga practice. We'll go slowly and thoughtfully. I want to encourage you to consider that during the practice, you're addressing your brain, you're cultivating patience, which is in short supply these days in our society. You're cultivating patience and presence. And both of these things are going to help our brains to get re-regulated towards the possibility of homeostasis, well-being, and therefore fewer cravings or collapses with food or your body or anxiety or depression. Okay, without further ado, let's step into the practice. We're going to begin this practice in a standing position. I'll see you there. And of course, as always, along the way in the practice, consider what's working well for you. And remember, you can leave comments and questions below the video. Please subscribe to the channel. That helps us to keep producing more content for you. And any videos that you click like on gives me feedback about what's working well for you. Okay, now let's get into the practice. Okay, so now what we're going to do is a standing practice that brings in these kinds of attention, these different forms of attention. One that helps us to focus when necessary, and one that helps us to expand when we need to kind of get out of ourselves, or the hamster on the wheel inside the mind and the body. We have to get out of ourselves sometimes. It's really helpful to know how to expand our attention, not just to take our attention to distraction or here and there, right? Not just to go on some other errand or some other task, but how do we actually get out of the hamster wheel of the mind to a more expansive experience? That being said, it's also helpful to know how to get more focus when we feel like we've gotten hijacked into the myriad lightning bugs of the mind. How are we going to get more focused? So what we're going to start here with is take a wide stance. So your feet are going to be about one leg length apart. So that'll be shorter for me and longer for others. Yeah. Okay, so in this wide stance, press into your heels. And as you inhale, sweep your arms out to the sides. And then exhale and come down. Touch the floor with your fingertips. Release the breath as completely as you can. Inhale, raise up, sweep your arms wide. Exhale, bring your hands together at your heart. Clasp the hands, inhale to press up. And exhale, press your arms wide, come down, and smoothly complete the exhale. Okay, now when you inhale, sweep the arms wide and try to sense the space into which you're reaching. Exhale, bring your hands down to your heart and focus on the sensation of your palms together. Inhale, press forward. Imagine the space that you get to occupy. Exhale, bring your palms together at your heart, coming back in. Almost like you're on a swing set, right? So there's inhale, there's exhale, like a swing set. Now inhale, hands forward and up. And exhale, reach into the space around you and come down slowly, come to a more inward place. Again, inhale, expand your attention, raise your arms, reach up overhead. Exhale, palms together at your heart, attention in your center. Clasp the hands, inhale, press forward. Exhale, return, almost like you're on a swing set. And once more, inhale, forward and up. And exhale, wide, forward and down. Now it's okay to use blocks to reach the floor here if you have, let's say your hamstrings are not that warmed up or you have tight hamstrings. And as you keep the legs stable, walk your hands forward. So your upper body is going to be more open. Reach back into your hips and your heels, root down into all 10 toes. I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, and as you inhale, imagine the sensation right there at the tip of the nose for your in-breath. During the exhale, imagine your fingertips and your feet, that your mind could see them. As if, though the eyes are closed, you're going to see those fingertips and feet as if looking out through the side windows of a cruise ship. So make a specific effort on the inhale to notice and to narrow your focus at the tip of the nose, and a specific exhale process where you're noticing the feet and the hands. Your mind should feel like it widens out a little bit, and then it comes back to center a bit, almost again like being on a swing set. And do that for one more breath cycle, please. And then walk your hands back towards your hips, root down into your heels. Please rise up to standing. And as you come up, now let's turn the heels in and take the toes out. Right, bend your knees. This is called, sometimes it's called the goddess pose. Sometimes I call it the jazz dance warm-up pose. Sometimes yoga teachers make up names for poses. So that's the case here. I don't know this as a classical yoga pose. But as you're pressing out, I'd like you to put your heels and toes to point in the same direction that your knees can go. So don't turn the foot farther than your knee can go. Straighten your arms, lengthen your spine. And then let's bring the gaze down on the floor in front. And as you're inhaling, put your attention at the tip of the nose. And then exhale and let your mind notice your hands on your knees. And inhale, come to the center of the nose. Exhale, let your mind sense both hands on your knees. Do that 3 times more. This is like yoga for your brain, so take your time. The ways that we're focusing right now can become ultimately very helpful to your mental well-being because of what you're doing with your brain. This focused attention and peripheral attention. Okay, now with an inhale, press into both heels, rise up to standing. We've already got the feet wide, so let's take the left heel and turn it out slightly. Turn your right toes out to the right. Bring your palms together at your heart. Okay, so this is going to be where we center attention. We're going to go into warrior 2, and we're going to be expanding our attention and so on. Let me just tie my hair back off my face. It's one of those things, you know, in yoga practice, it's not helpful to have your hair hanging in your face. Okay, bring your palms together. Right, so with the inhale, notice your hands and the tip of your nose. It's going to seem a little bit strange, right? On the exhale, sweep your arms wide and sense that your mind can know where both hands are. Okay, now inhale, bend your right knee. Exhale, turn your head to your right and sense where your left hand is. Inhale up to center. Exhale, arms wide, sense where both hands are. Inhale to your right with your right knee into warrior. Exhale, turn your head to your right, but know where your left hand is. Inhale to center. Exhale, both arms wide. Sense where your hands are. Inhale, bend your right knee. And exhale, take your head to your right. Now we're going to stay here for several breath cycles. So during the inhale, focus at the tip of your nose. On the exhale, I want you to sense your left hand, even though you can't see it. Okay, and then inhale up to center. And exhale, turn your right toes in, turn your left toes out. Okay, so it might seem very slow, and your brain in modern life is like everywhere doing all these things. The pace of modern life is very quick. So because we're addressing the brain at this level of where is our attention, I do want to encourage you to definitely take your time with this process. It's something that is going to carry with you from your mat into daily life. So palms together. Let's inhale at the center. And exhale, sweep your arms wide. Try to sense both hands as if you're looking out the side windows of a cruise ship. And inhale, bend your left knee. Exhale, turn your head to your left, but know where your right hand is. Inhale up to center. Exhale, attention goes wide as you notice both hands. Inhale, bend your left knee. Exhale, rotate your head to your left, but know where your right hand is. Inhale up to center. And one more time, exhale, arms wide. Expand your attention. Inhale, bend your left knee. Exhale, turn your head to your left and know where your right hand is. Now, on the next inhale, notice the tip of the nose. And exhale, observe your right hand. Inhale, local concentration at the tip of the nose. And exhale, let your mind remember where your right hand is in space. And then inhale, return to center. And exhale, make the feet parallel, and let's come down to Prasarita Padottanasana again, the wide leg forward bend. And then please shift your hands to your hips, rise up to standing, and let's take some time on the floor for a floor practice. So to take a blanket to sit on, something like this. In this floor practice, it's going to be building on what you were just doing. So take a comfortable seat on your blanket. This is brain training, right? You're having a chance to refine what your brain does in daily life. And how often do we take the time for that? And frequently we don't take the time for it because it feels like we're not getting an immediate sense, like, caffeine or something. And yet the underlying, what's been happening is that there is this slow downward gradation of mental health in our society. And, even for us as an individual, we can seem like we're doing okay, but we don't recognize that we're actually going down, down, down. And so we look for the immediate change or the immediate benefit. And that might be like a little spike, but we're actually potentially going down like this and having these little spikes. So this is a process of going back up into some capacities that might have gotten blunted by not only by food issues and addiction issues and anxiety, but by how our society is expecting us to be hither and thither on all the myriad forms of attention and all the intrusions and stimulations. And then at the same time, how we lose ourselves. We don't know how to get back home. So though this is slow and deliberate, it's really important medicine for you, for your overall mental well-being. Okay, so what we're going to do right now, sitting cross-legged or in some form of this kind of position, let's take the hands, left hand across to your right knee. Yeah. And right hand on your left hand, press that down so it's going to stay. Good. Rotate your head to your right. And as you inhale, lift up with your chest and your heart. Lift your nose, lift your gaze. And then exhale, bring your chin down towards your throat. Gaze down past your right shoulder. And inhale to go up. The pose is a little bit limited because we place the hands where they are. So you may have less overall physical movement with your body, but some very important, we can say, movement that has tone to it. So we inhale to go up. Exhale, bring your chin down. Now as you inhale to go up, open your eyes and trace a line on the wall, the ceiling, up overhead. As you exhale, close your eyes and bring your attention down and in. Inhale, open your eyes and trace a line on the wall and the ceiling up overhead. And exhale, bring your chin down, close your eyes. And then come back to center. Now, you might notice that your body actually had some stretching and moving. You might have felt like you didn't have that much range of motion, but what you were addressing myofascially, you can probably feel often in the release of the pose. Let's go to the other side. So bring your right hand across, reach as far as you're able to comfortably. Take the left hand to hold your right hand there. Yep. And then as you inhale, we're going to be going up. Open your eyes and trace a line on the wall and then the ceiling. And exhale, pull your attention back down and in, close your eyes, come inside. Inhale, open your eyes. Notice the wall, the ceiling. Exhale, close your eyes and bring your attention back down and in. And again. Last one. And then rotate around to face forward. Okay, and let's see what we can glimpse in terms of any changes that have happened with your mind. And now take a wide seat. So you're going to take the legs out to the side like this. Okay, and that's not easy for everyone. Some of us have it more genetically installed than others do. When you take a seat like this, press into both legs, energize your leg muscles. Yep. Lift up through your heart, and then we're going to walk forward. And whatever amount you come forward and down is appropriate for you. Lift the base of your skull a little bit so your head is in line with your spine. And as you breathe in, you can have your gaze inward and your attention at the tip of your nose. When you exhale, imagine that you're seeing each of your feet out the side windows of the mind. And inhale, return your attention to the tip of the nose. And exhale, widen your attention Both feet can be included in your awareness. And do that for one more breath. And then walk your hands back towards your knees. Rise up to sitting. Put the soles of your feet together. Open the knees out to the side. Hold on to the toes. Lift up through the spine. Close your eyes. You may come a little bit forward. You might come a lot forward. It's up to your flexibility, and your genetics are a part of that. So as you're coming forward, and find the place where you're comfortable in the pose. And during the inhale, come to the tip of the nose. On the exhale, sense where your knees are, left and right. I practice this also. Sometimes it feels to me like when you're on a swing set and you swing high to the front and you see your toes. And then on the exhale, you're swinging to the back place on the swing, and like so much to sense in the periphery as you swing backwards. As you next inhale, rise up to sitting. Okay. And then release your ankles from that position. So this kind of practice is really for your brain. And another thing that our brains need more than most of us are taking care of is appropriate rest. We need the kind of rest that lets us integrate things. We need rest at night that's meaningful sleep and helps us to have the reparative time for the brain in the nighttime. And by the way, that's not just reparative for your mental health, but also for digestive health. And it helps so much with things like cravings, fatigue, exhaustion, anxiety, depression, to have all that kind of support. So we're going to do Shavasana now. We'll have a resting period. And as we do this resting period, I want you to sense it's like you're reminding your body and your mind how to rest. We're not just lying still to fall asleep. Let's take the blanket and place it down the length of your mat like this. Sit in front of your blanket. As you sit in front of your blanket, then lie back. And you've got a little bit of blanket there still to curl under so that your head has support. So I curled the end of my blanket under my neck, of course, and that gives the head some support. And then we'll stretch the legs out. Bring your palms face up. Close your eyes. And I'm going to ask you to use a phrase that you can say to yourself. Of course, you can make up your own phrase, whatever that is. But what I'm going to suggest right now is the phrase is, you have permission to rest. You have permission to rest. And the second phrase is, I have permission to rest. Now that's going to sound a little strange. Why are we changing the pronoun? When we say you have permission to rest, imagine that it's coming from a very benevolent, loving place in you. And when you say, I have permission to rest, it's coming from what you think of as you. Right? So there's these two parts, this loving presence that would say to you, oh, honey, you have permission to rest. And then there's your own knowing of that, the part that you think of as yourself. We call that your daily life self. So what you can do is think of on the inhale, I have permission to rest. On the exhale, you have permission to rest. How many of us don't feel like we have permission to rest? We feel like there's pressure coming from someone. Sometimes it feels like it's from our very self, but that pressure to not rest, the pressure to keep going, that pressure becomes very burdensome to the body. So you say to yourself on the exhale, hey, you have permission to rest. On the inhale, you're kind of claiming that I have permission to rest. If your body settles in more for Shavasana, now simplify the phrase because the breath is going to get shorter and more subtle. You can simply observe it. You're going to simplify the phrase to the word permission and then to rest. On the inhale, you might hear the word permission, and on the exhale, the words to rest. Allow your mind and your body to keep settling even more deeply. Allow yourself to drop in again, a few degrees deeper. Know that you're doing some very important brain repair right now. Now wiggle your fingers and your toes and try to sense your toes and fingers. Take a slightly deeper breath. Try to sense the nose. Bend your knees. Roll to your side. And return to sitting. So this is a brain-based yoga practice. Let's check and see how the mind is doing when you come back to your seat. And give yourself the possibility of sitting still for a few moments and sensing the part of you that's not, perhaps not as anxious or not as stuck. Just even if you get a little pinhole of a glimpse of that. Sometimes in daily life, it's going to be a matter of from where are we allowing ourselves to be led inside? Is it our anxious part or our stuck or disappointed part? And can it be the part of us that came to yoga class this morning? And can we remember to recruit peripheral awareness today and focal awareness? Both are necessary. You might try it once more and reverse the breath so you can sense, even your brain can develop this at any breath pattern. So inhale, peripheral awareness. And exhale, focus at the tip of the nose. And inhale, peripheral. And if you're on a swing set, gliding up, the toes become more obvious to you. On the exhale, gaze at your toes. Return to the nose. Inhale, expand your awareness. Exhale, tip of the nose. Okay, thank you. Let's raise the hands to the heart. I hope it's been helpful to you to have this kind of experience, and please do let me know. Thank you. Namaste. Okay, before you go, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Click like for the videos that work for you. It's good feedback for us. And remember to leave comments and questions down below so that we can respond to you from there. I hope you've enjoyed the practice and I look forward to seeing you again. Namaste.